Well, hi guys, well welcome back to the channel. Well, if you've seen last week's video, you'll know that we're loving Albania right now, and I come up with a brilliant idea to get us even deeper into the mountains. But I'm not sure Izzy thought it was quite such a good idea. Well, morning all. Well, second night here and it's been super quiet. It's been a fantastic little stop and the scenery really is spectacular. But we're heading on. We're heading north in order to get east. And we're heading up the road about 10 miles. We'll stop for some water en route. And then we're going to head into the mountains thereabouts. There is a track. It's officially a road, but it is a track. And I know Izzy's feeling a bit nervous about it. She's not massively keen on the whole sort of off-road scene. I think we'll be fine. There's been no rain to speak of. So yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it. And that'll take us into a little village. And then we'll reassess and go from there. Well, the scenery in this part of Georgia is absolutely spectacular. I mean, it's a beautiful country from a natural point of view anyway, but here, on a day like today when the sun's shining with this beautiful blue sky, it's just epic. And we're into October now as well, which is just incredible. I think I might have actually said Georgia there, not Albania, and that's because we were speaking to someone this morning, a young German girl cycling, and we were talking about Georgia. So there we go, little slip. Right, we've just stopped for a little drop of water, threaded top, which is great. But would he see this view? We cross a number of small bridges, don't expect any signage in terms of weight capacity, but in fairness, they look pretty robust. Okay, we're going left here.
We're not long into the journey, and I can already feel some anxiety for what lies ahead.
Okay, it might be a long day.
Stop, I think we're on the wrong track.
Hold on. No, I think we're on the right track. Okay, we've got a little flat section. Izzy, I haven't been filming because I've been told off because it's been a little bit hairy in places, to say the least, and Izzy is well to the sea. But look at the face on that. She's absolutely loving this. She's just not, she's pretending. But honestly, the view here, the scenery,
Doesn't make up for anything.
is incredible. Izzy just said it makes up for everything. Doesn't it?
No.
So Izzy just said, how do local people do it? How do they navigate this road every day? And there's a few settlements on this road. It is pretty remote, I have to say, and it takes quite a long time to sort of get here. You start off in the middle of nowhere anyway. We're probably about along an hour or and a quarter in.
Nearly 2 hours.
Nearly 2 hours. Okay, lost track of time. And it's yeah, it's pretty hard going, I have to say. I'm going to stop for a photograph because the scenery up here is pretty epic. We've seen a couple of other vehicles today, a couple of bikes, I think 2 or 3 motorbikes, but that's it. It's pretty remote, but pretty gorgeous. On a day like today, it's really hard to beat. The water damage here has been evident throughout the morning, and I wasn't happy dipping into the hole, so I spent about 20 minutes gathering rock to play it safe and prevent any dramas. I back up to keep the rear end as far to the left as possible. Well, I managed to get up hard over onto the left hand side and just sort of touched it in the end, but better to be safe than sorry. Some of it's a bit loose, so you just can't be too careful really, and dip it into that when you're in a camber anyway. Yeah, dodgy enough. Okay, so we've just stopped beside the little campsite. There's a lady there. It is late in the day. It's 2:10 in the afternoon. We're probably 4 hours in at this point. And we've still got, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 hours left yet. So yeah, it's going to take the rest of the day, I think. So I think we're keen to press on actually, and then it's done, and then we can find somewhere and sort of chill. So, but for now, I think we're going to go see if they're doing some food and get a bite to eat. Well, lovely little place actually. Lady's really friendly. She speaks a little bit of English, so I think I'm going to have a salad and some local. It's like a little sort of cake, almost like a croissant or a donut. Just nice to stop actually, I must say. It's been a bit of a drag, but what I would say is she was saying it's another 8 k's of track like this, so, and then it's asphalt, so we'll see.
Pumpkin. Okay. Is this for drinking?
Yes.
Water? Do you want some, Phil?
Okay,
Yes. Thank you.
Well, that was the best meal we've had since we've been in Albania. It was absolutely fresh, it was delicious, really tasty.
All homemade.
Homemade pumpkin pie, pumpkin...
Homemade cheese, homemade wine.
Homemade everything.
Honey from the farm.
Homemade fruit juice.
Homemade donuts.
Really good. Izzy's even got a little glass of wine on the go. Camera nerves.
Much needed. Might have another before we set off.
So we've got about 8 kilometers to go on this track. I mean, it's incredibly slow going. I'm pretty much first gear, maybe second, all the way. And it's been like that since we started today, really. But to put it into some sort of context, that 8 kilometers, although it doesn't sound very much, there's at least 2 hours of driving there and navigating these tracks. So it does take quite a lot of time, a lot of concentration, and a lot of sort of being bumped about in the cab and just trying to pick the route, or continuously pick that route, and avoid all the really big dips, and watching out for those cambers. Right, so we've dropped quite a lot of elevation. We're back into the trees. Track actually isn't too bad. It's a bit bumpy, but we're crawling along, which is so we're sort of bang on time in terms of how long we thought would take us. So we've done 4 k's. It's taken us just over an hour. We've got another 4k to go, and yeah, hopefully we're into our last hour. Right, so we're just going to stop and check out this bridge, and just satisfy ourselves that it's okay, because It's a bit rickety, there's no signage, some of the wood isn't in the best of states. So let's have a look. Well, there's some big girders there. We think it's 12 tons. There's no signage, but we did read online there's 12 tons. So, but yeah, it's definitely seen better days. There's a track down here actually. And they come across the riverbed. Okay, keep looking, right? Right, we're just going to try and find somewhere for this evening. We'll have to make a huge effort to come to this truly epic park up. One, we got no signal, and two, there's a fire burning just over there. I think they're making charcoal, and the wind's coming this way, and all we can smell is burning wood. So we just said, okay, look, let's go back up. Let's pour ourselves a gin and tonic. Fingers crossed we'll get some signal and be happy with that. Okay, we've got a little spot which is great. We've gained elevation. We've got this fantastic little park up. It may not, you know, have this sort of panorama of the view of the riverbed, but honestly, look at this.
So this is what we normally do after a long down the road. But today has been an exceptionally long down the road. So we've actually treated ourselves to the Hendrix tonight.
Yeah, much needed. So
it's making it, yeah, a much needed gin and tonic. I think we'd have had a beer if we had it. But we sort of have a bit of an oversight really. We don't have any wine either.
Yeah, so we drove up to a little restaurant and it was closed. I thought, no, I was just in the mood for a beer tonight. So we actually then drove back down the track to that fantastic place that I showed you, but the smell of charcoal was hideous.
It's making me cough.
So we just thought, well, can't stay here really. That wasn't going to stop anytime soon. There was actually a guy there burning, so we just thought, right, come on, let's move, let's get up here and sit here for a day or two. But it's a great spot, I have to say.
It is. We can still hear the water.
So,
you can see the water. We're level, we have a signal, we have everything we need, so I think we both need a day out of the cab tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I want a tarmac road for a day.
Yeah, no, that was a challenging day today, I have to say. So much more challenging than I was expecting.
Character building, my mum would have called it.
But we should have known better. It is on the world's most dangerous roads list.
It is, yeah.
So, well, there we go. And we tried to do loads of research. YouTube, Google Earth, all the tools, all the reviews, overland forums. Oh my God,
we even
everywhere.
looked at the comments of Park for Night, people that had stopped on the road, but the road is sort of like in two parts, and yeah, even when we thought it was going to get better, it didn't really get better at all. So
there's kind of nowhere really. It's a national park, and there's kind of no Park for Night stops. So we're looking at all the tools. So I thought, oh, that's a bit weird, you know. Normally there's sort of places there, but there wasn't. There was like one place by a little reservoir, and we thought, there'll be loads of places to stop. It'll be like Georgia, but there really wasn't. I mean, you can see the terrain. You've got the track. You've got that sort of very rugged landscape. And it just wasn't the case, and
there's nowhere to go.
Nobody go. We couldn't even sort of stop on the track because although it's not busy, there is the odd motorbike and the odd sort of local that uses it. So here we are. So promised Izzy this gin for the last sort of 3 hours. So,
5 hours, I think, is probably more realistic.
I'll give you another little drop.
Yeah, please do.
I'll give you another little drop just to make it up. There you go. That's
Thank you.
There's like probably 3 or 4 measures in there, so.
But the relief to get to the
Anyway.
end and onto the tarmac even overrode my disappointment that there wasn't a Burger King. But I have a gin.
Cheers.
Cheers, babe.
Morning, Iz. Well guys, good morning. Well, super quiet night last night, as you'd expect. It's a really good little spot, and I think we're just enjoying having a bit of a slow morning this morning. We had a little bit of a lie-in, we had a slow breakfast, and we're just catching up on a little bit of work, which is lovely, but you know, just a fabulous setting all round. But I think we'll head off tomorrow morning. I think we'll head to we'll head north from here before heading east, and eventually then into North Macedonia. But for now, I think we'll just enjoy the sunshine and just keep on chilling. Well, evening guys. Well, honestly, if you could smell the truck tonight, your mouth would be watering, because Izzy is concocting, I'm not actually sure what she's concocting. Izzy, what are you cooking tonight, babe?
I am cooking enchilada inspired pasta bake.
What does that even mean?
So it's the flavours of enchiladas, but we don't have the equipment to make enchiladas, so we're doing it with pasta instead. So it's got lots of coriander, lots of cumin in it, my favourite spices, some chicken, peppers, garlic, onions, tin of tomatoes, and then it will have some cheese across the top, which the heat of the dish will melt, so I don't have to put it under the grill.
Pasta.
And pasta, yeah, which is always a handy addition to any store cupboard, which you'd know if you read our cookbook.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Enough of the plugs. Listen, it's a bit of a made-up dish, all right? And it's because we've been out in the boonies for a little bit, and you know, you find somewhere, you're like, this is great, this is really good, and you stay there for a day, and then 2 days, and then you go somewhere else, and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, this is amazing, let's stay here.
You're like, what swear word can I say on camera? Shit, we've run out of gin, and wine, and beer.
It's true.
That's it. That's all that's left. Look, I'm savouring it.
Yeah, because you drank it all last night. So,
after you put me through that hideous experience.
Yeah. So I just had a little look at that footage today. Actually, do you know what? It looks fine. It looks like a normal track. Looks like just a It
was not a normal track.
I know, but I've looked at the footage and there's just nothing there.
Capture it on camera, isn't it? Or was I just being an absolute wuss?
Izzy didn't want to get out and capture it on camera. I was concentrating on driving, and for the sake of our marriage, I decided that it was probably better just to...
I tell you what, you watch it and let us know in the comments whether you agree with me or you agree with Phil, because I think that would be really interesting, because I think your normal is not everybody else's normal.
No, the track wasn't normal, but we didn't necessarily catch it. We didn't really sort of get all the sort of juicy bits.
There weren't any juicy.
Because Izzy was kind of welded to the seat with white knuckles, and I was concentrating on driving. Every time I lifted the camera, I was getting a sort of a bit of an ear bashing.
Please don't film us as we're going down a 90 degree, no, it wouldn't be 90 degree, a 15 degree descent with a sheer drop of 200 foot on one side and a mountain on the other, and lots of rock in front of us.
You exaggerate. It was only about 180 foot drop, so anyway, come on, chop dinner.
Okay.
Come on, I'm starving.
It's almost ready. 2 minutes for the pasta and then it's done.
Listen, I'm not saying I've got a problem, but I've just looked in the bin. Okay. Izzy, I think you need to curb your gin consumption.
There's nothing wrong with a healthy gin habit.
Okay.
Dinner is served.
Has it got a name?
Enchilada pasta. Bake.
Okay, wow. Alright, well it smells good.
It does.
Let's tuck in.
Yeah.
It does taste good.
It does, doesn't it?
Wow. It's hot though. Wow.
Yeah, it is very hot. It's the melted cheese is doing it for me.
It's like a whole new take, isn't it? It's like fusion.
Do you know what it's like?
What is it?
It's like enchilada pasta bake. That's a new dish. I've just invented it.
It is.
It's got all those flavours that we really like, but it's got pasta in it and cheese on top. I mean, what's not to like, really?
And the gin and tonic.